Welcome to Extol Live, sponsored by New Washington State Bank and Cutter Woodworking. I'm Angie Fenton. I don't think you can see her right now, but I've got a little friend. I'll introduce you to her coming up in just a moment. Before we start things off and I introduce one of our guests and we kick it to Collins Corner, first want to say kudos to River Hills Executive Director Corey Cochran on a successful first ever, for him at least, annual dinner last night at 300 Spring. That was a great event and a safe one as well. And I also wanted to just show you hot off the presses, the first issue of Extol magazine that we have published since pre-COVID. Our last edition featured Wiley Brown on the cover, and that was our February-March 2020 issue. Our new printer, Lane Press, sent us some advanced copies, so these will be on stands throughout Southern Indiana coming up next week, but just wanted to show you hot off the presses. Kudos to the Extol team and all the hard work that you've done, especially our designer and creative director, Adam Kleiner. But for right now, just wanted to show you really quickly one of my favorite people I've had the opportunity to get to know. Scott Martin is here with us in studio, and Scott,
let's get the real star here. How about that? Come here, Alice.
Oh, can you see? Okay, you saw a head. There she is, Scott. We're going to introduce this one in just a minute here. But by the way, this is Alice, and Scott's going to tell us all about her. You're so sweet. You are so sweet. But Scott Martin is here to talk about, if you haven't heard about this yet, I don't know where you've been, but Origin Park. But first, we're going to kick it to our first ever Collins Corner right now.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Collins Corner, even though this is obviously not a corner. This is just a white wall, but we're going to pretend it's a corner. I'm Colin Wood, of course. You probably guessed that already. Today we're going to be talking about things going on in Southern Indiana, as well as taking a dive into the pop culture world. So let's go ahead and turn our gears toward to see what's going on in Charlestown. So Charlestown, they just announced their Charlestown Community Event lineup. And this event's going to be going on from September 16th through the 18th. And you're probably wondering there at home, what's going to be going on during those days? Why should I be in Charlestown? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. September 16th from 4 to 9 p.m., there's going to be a candlelit ceremony to honor those that we lost to COVID-19. And then the day after that, which will be the September 17th, from 4 to 11 p.m., we're going to have the Skinny and the Willis Tucker Band be performing there. So you're definitely going to want to go check that out. And then after that, the final day of the event, which is September 18th. It's a long event going on from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., but trust me, you're going to want to be there. It's probably the most jam-packed day that they're going to have. They're going to have the Mad Taxpayers there. They're going to have the Brady Evan and the Blue Collar Rebellion, and so much more bands are going to be performing there. And then to wrap everything up, later on that night at 8 p.m., they're going to be having fireworks going off. Yeah, you heard it. Plus, they're going to be having food, vendors, kid activities, and mobile vaccination clinics. So you definitely want to be in Charlestown through September 16th through the 18th. And if you're not, what the heck are you doing, man? Cancel those plans. All right, we're going to go ahead into Sellersburg now. Sellersburg, from August 28th through the 29th. They're having a pretty awesome couple days there as well. It's going to be the Art and Speed Park event. It's going to be for 2 days, and it's going to feature music, performing artists, a tent for children to create. There's also going to be delicious food going on, wine, craft beer, and most importantly, the nation's finest artisans and their works. So you definitely want to go check out this event. It's their 30th anniversary, and it's going to be their last as well. And so if you're not going to this event, you're never going to get the chance to go again. So speaking of that, moving on to the next, we're going to go talk about some pop culture. So I'm going to tell you, just a few days ago, we had the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer just been released. And why am I bringing this up? Well, because it beat previous Marvel movie, Avengers Endgame, viewing in 24 hours with 355.5 million views in just 24 hours for Spider-Man No Way Home, compared to Avengers Endgame, the 28.9 million views in just 24 hours. So a big gap there. I'm sure many people are excited to go see that movie, including me. I'm sure the theater is going to be packed too, so you might want to go get your tickets as soon as you can and when they're announced. All right, now we're going to be talking about my love-hate relationship with Kanye West. I'm sure many of you already know about this, but Kanye has not dropped his album yet. And I'm going to be on the watch for you guys and make sure that we get that album out. But this is the thing. He is kind of going a little nuts right now. And he's wanting to change his name legally to Yi, which is his nickname. And some of you might not know that, but a lot of people like to call him Yi. I think it came from a past album of his, but he's wanting to legally change it. No middle name, no last name, just Yi. So yeah, pretty interesting. But, you know, he's been having an active week. He has remodeled his house, also his childhood home, and he is also actually planning on rebuilding it in the stadium in which he's staying at to perform his live showing of his album coming up, which he's apparently dropping a week from now, but just take it with a grain of salt. All right, that's all I have for you guys happening in the pop culture world, as well as stuff going on in Southern Indiana. This has been Colin Wood, and I'm going to throw it back to you, Angie.
Thanks so much, Colin. I have our first guest here, Scott Martin. He's the executive director of River Heritage Conservancy, and you couldn't hear him. What did you say about Kanye, Scott?
I may have said 2005 called in and wants Kanye back. I may have.
I want that on a shirt. Colin and I have had a long going tussle, let's say.
Okay.
Because I'm more Kenny Rogers and he's Kanye, but he keeps giving us the yay. I don't even know how to say it. I'm not cool. It doesn't even matter anymore.
And I'm old. I'm Tribe
I'm
Called
with
Quest.
you.
I'm like way old. So.
Same. So, all right. Well, Colin, awesome job on your first ever Colin's Corner. Can't wait to see what you come up with next time. And I think that's kind of the theme. But switching gears to Scott Martin, you've seen him all over. I mean, Media Scott, social media, Origin Park, I mean, River Heritage Conservancy. We're going to talk about that. We have your beautiful dog who is walking around. Can we start with Alice, please?
We should, shouldn't we? Let's see if we can bribe for attention. How about that? Alice, come here, girl. Come here. Oh, come say hi to Angie. Here you go.
Oh, hi. So first, tell us about Alice. I've never seen a brown Dalmatian, and her ears amazing.
She is.
I know you know this.
liver spotted Dalmatian. So we've had, Jen and I have always had Dalmatians. That was the first thing we bought as a married couple, was a rescue Dalmatian. So we always have Dalmatians, and she's the latest addition to the family. And she is liver spotted, but she is pet grade, not show grade, pet grade. Because her ear, like you said, Angie, you see how it's all one brown spot.
It's beautiful.
That's technically a flaw for Dalmatians. So they can't be bred or shown, and we don't do that stuff anyhow. But that's why she is pet grade. But she's sweet, lovely. She's 9 months old. She's a joy to us. And I have this dream one day of being the park director who walks around the park with the dog off leash, on leash if there's a rule. But you know, everything is this beautiful moment with birds chirping. I have yet to have that moment, but I hope for it one day.
Okay, so let's start though in terms of that. Let's start with the moment with Alice. Can she go off leash with you?
Not yet. We don't trust her yet, and we are an on leash community, so it would be irresponsible as a dog owner to have your dog off leash. Not so much for your dog, but for how your dog may make other people feel.
I love to hear that, because you know that I'm an animal lover, and we have 4 dogs, and so that's a lot of leash happening. But it's
better for everybody.
Absolutely. But Scott, where did you fall in love with the great outdoors?
I've always been a park person. My first job was actually as a National Park Service ranger.
But go back even before I mean, what's your first memory where you just, I mean, as a child, where you just said, I'm home?
Yeah, Angie, I think if I can age both of us, like we're the Gen Xers, we may be the last generation that in the summer, like our parents threw us out and we'd come back at 5 o'clock at night.
Absolutely.
And who knows what happened. I don't even know where we got lunch. I don't know how things happened. But that was life. So that's always, the outdoors has always been a special place to me. And as a person, the world is full of distractions, more so now than ever before. And as someone who, I have to deal with my own little inner ADD battles. The only place I ground my soul and my spirit is in the outdoors. It's where you have to settle down. You hit that walking pace. For me, it's whitewater kayaking and other stuff. But you have to be in the moment and be in the now. And from age whatever till today, I find that's my spiritual place.
Tell me, so where did you grow up?
Okay. I grew up in Hopewell, Virginia, very similar to Southern Indiana. It's the other side of the James River from the big city, Richmond, Virginia.
So what were the kinds of things then that you did as a kid? I mean, because I think we both take it for granted. I mean, you and I have known each other long enough that, I mean, I'm from rural Michigan and grew up, like you said, outdoors, except there in Michigan, you grow up in all the seasons because you're ice fishing, you're hiking, you're doing all kinds of things. Otherwise, you would never see anybody. We lived all 4 seasons outside. And so that's where my love came from. But paint that picture. You're in Hopewell, Virginia, and you're a kid. What do you love doing?
Yeah, you're running down to the river to go chase eels and catfish. You're doing the things you shouldn't do, like racing across trestles. And, you know, it's what was the movie with the Stand By Me? I mean, you're doing all of that stuff. And like you said, so thoughtfully, and thank you for bringing that up, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad gear. You're doing it all 4 seasons. And that was life. For us growing up. And then I went to boarding school for high school and military school, in fact. And I was very lucky to be taken into a church where the youth director really put his arm around me. And our Sunday getaway was in the Blue Ridge Mountains, walking on trails, fly fishing, mountain biking, whatever it was. And that became a very safe and a very special, sacred place and sacred time to me as well.
I have to go back because I did my homework and I know, you know, Boise State and some of your travels, but military school.
Yeah.
Wow.
That surprises people. They're like, Hippie Scott in military school. It doesn't
but I love that. But what have you taken from military school that translates into what you're doing now?
It seems counterintuitive, but I'll tell you, Angie, as a teenager, being not sent, but going to military school, however you want to phrase it, it strips away everything that's a distraction. It doesn't matter anymore what clothes you wear, who has money, who doesn't, who's in fashion, who's not. And you've got to figure out who you are. And if you really dial into it and take advantage of it at a very young age, you have to find out where your morals are, where are your values, and who you are.
What you just said about the school, doesn't matter who you are, how much money you have. Isn't that true also about the great outdoors?
That's exactly the point. It's a giant leveling field for all of us.
It absolutely is. So what brought you to this area after Boise?
Yeah, well, Boise, then Virginia, and back and forth. But I guess the more localized story is I was brought here by the Jones family to help build out the parklands of Floyd's Fork. And I was team member number 3 or 4 in 2010 when that was just an idea, and had just the incredible fortune to be a part of a team that built, you know, the largest new park our nation has built in an urban setting in the last generation. And to do it in the span of 7 years and do it as a private-public partnership and be around, not name dropping, but there's name dropping, to be around a David Jones and see how much he gave back out of just the goodness of his heart and how much he loved his home. To be in those rooms and to be part of that change was the most remarkable experience I've had in my career.
So is this true? Then instead of wooing you, I mean, Mr. Jones and that whole entire board, that whole entire team that helped to build that could have taken you anywhere. I mean, they could have flown you to Paris for lunch, but excuse me, $3 cheeseburgers at Cunningham's on Harrods Creek.
Yeah.
And that's how they wooed you.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife and I, David Jones and Betty and Dan and Lisa, and $3 burgers and PBRs at Cunningham's. And that's when you know it's real. It's not about show. And this park work we do, if we do it right, and it drives my heart, obviously, it's never about personalities. It can never be about ego or I. It literally and honestly is one of the most humane, generous things a community can do for itself.
Okay, so the River Heritage Conservancy has a vision that has obviously manifested in Origin Park. Without spending 3 hours, because I think
I could do it.
I think we both could do it together. Describe what you and the board really envision Origin Park to be, especially to people who don't know, people who aren't in on those conversations right now. What is this?
The big idea is, in our community of 1.2 million people, there's one last frontier in our urban setting where all of our stories come together. And this is very much a story-driven project. Is we elevate that 600 acres to its place. We restore it, we heal it, And we complete what we consider to be Olmsted's idea when he did the park system in Louisville, which is we knit our communities together across the region with world-class public landscapes that are free for everybody, that are open to everybody. The unique part of the Origin Park story, Angie, is I will never, ever work on a more historic or culturally sensitive landscape in my life. This piece of land has been inhabited for 12,000 years by First Nations, our elders, our indigenous communities. It's been the site of Lewis and Clark. They actually left for the greatest American road trip at this site. It's where the state of Indiana began. These are all properties we now own. The Underground Railroad came through our site, and the first time an individual would have had feet on ground where they were a whole person is on the site. This narrative and this story on the American story, we find so much responsibility to get it right, reflection, and deep reflection, thoughtful reflection. And then concurrently with that, joy, restoration, smiling, and wildlife is how the whole thing comes together. So the macro statement is this, and I know I'm going on too long.
No, you're fine.
This park will be unlike any other park in our region. It's unlike any other park built in the United States. It's the first climate change adaptive park designed in the Upper South. It's the first park in our region designed by a female lead architect. Believe it or not, no other parks have a female lead architect behind it. And it's a park that is very much focused on the authenticity of our region. We're not trying to be something else. Don't be Indy. Don't be Nashville. Don't be Boulder. Be who we are. Celebrate the 180 birds that come through it every year. Celebrate those First Nations. Bring artists in that tell us those stories in ways that connect us. That's really our goal.
So when you look at the people who are the driving force behind this, and you know this, it's very evident. I'm listening to you and I see the diversity and the richness of that tapestry of diversity of the literal land and the water, but I don't see that diversity in your board. So how are you ensuring that the people who are driving the vision that again lack in diversity aren't just pushing their vision, but are ensuring that you are listening to diverse voices from all walks of life? Going back to your military school when you learned it doesn't matter how much money is in your pocket or the color of your skin or your background or your challenges. What are you doing as a team? What are you doing personally to ensure, okay, this is going to affect all of us?
Yes.
We need to make sure that we are hearing from everyone.
That's exactly right. And I'm so glad you brought that up. One, it's a journey. And if we learned, I know. And if we learned, that was affirmation. She's got you. The best parks in this country, and let's name them. Central Park in New York, the Presidio, Golden Gate, name the great ones, is about, and this can't be buzzwords. And if you're doing it right, it's not buzzwords. It's something deeper and richer than that everyone has a part and a role, and everyone has a story to tell. So we are growing that as we go. We see it across the region. We have board members who are from Louisville as much as Southern Indiana, and now Indy. You'll see us grow racial, ethnic, age diversity as we continue to grow out as well. And the ultimate lift is this. This is a journey. And everyone thinks about things as projects, Angie. And the more time I spend in this field, the project is part of it, but it's really about the story that comes around it. I know I'm addicted to story, but Barry Lopez informed our work. Yes, he did, before he passed away. And he had a very, very quick story that he wanted to tell us before he passed. And he said, the knuckleheads who got us into the mess we're in today are not going to be the knuckleheads or systems that get us out. And the key is the team that we pull together to create those new partnerships and a new idea of what a park can be is our leap forward. So the answer to you is this. This has to be inclusive. It will be adding more people. If people want to be part of it, our definition of R is this, not R this. And so you'll see us reaching out across every way possible. Case in point, just an example. And I have so many secrets that I want to tell that I can't yet. When we talk about historical and cultural interpretation on our site, it's not going to be signs. It's going to be art, and it's going to be artists that we bring in. And they're not going to look like me, and they shouldn't look like me, and they shouldn't talk like me, and they shouldn't have my same voice. They have to bring their own voice. And letting those artists be turned loose to interpret and bring that space to life is what's driving us right now in terms of how the programming goes. So that's our DNA.
And I also have to, I have to just attest to this because I have been following along. I have asked you off camera hard questions.
Yeah.
But I also have walked alongside you, gone on.
You have been on a scamper.
Literal walked alongside you. I don't know how much I was scampering, but I was dressed for it. you also give people free opportunities to go out and see what you're talking about. And I think I have a responsibility. Anybody else who cares about Origin Park has a responsibility. Anybody who questions Origin Park has a responsibility to go out and see what this is all about and then spread the word.
Yeah.
Because that's how we include people.
That's exactly right. And we're stewards. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we're stewards of time, we're stewards of resources. And in my world of parks, if we do it right, we're stewards of these lands.
Absolutely.
And it gets really heavy if you take it seriously and you step back and you say, it has to be bigger than me, it has to be everyone's piece. And it gets scary and people get pushed out of their comfort zone a little bit, or people may be asked to re-articulate a space, and things like jurisdictional boundaries have to fall away. Stuff has to fall. And then the land and the stories and the people reveal themselves to you. And if you can respond thoughtfully, I've seen some amazing stuff done here and across the globe.
So but when you say that though, so answer me this.
Yeah.
I mean, jurisdiction and all of that,
Uh-huh.
you've been called visionary, entrepreneurial attitude, that you possess that. I mean, this Origin Park is unlike anything we've seen. And we see the acquisition of land. What if, Scott, what if everything you want for this doesn't come true? Isn't this still going to be an amazing park?
Oh, yeah.
Because people are buying in, and my emotions of pulling it in isn't really right. It's people are buying into this. But what if you don't get everything?
You can always make things work is the answer. You got to articulate, like you said, better than I ever could, the big vision, the big idea. Never be scared of the big idea. Never, ever, ever. Just to quote David Jones, if it can be done anywhere, it can be done here.
I love that.
So start there. And then here's the key, though. With competence, expertise, knowledge, you knock it out step by step by step. We're not going to the moon in one day. Every step, though, has to be clearly delineated with accountability, responsibility, and you follow it through. And it's just, it's eating the elephant one bite at a time. There are days, Angie, where my 2 a.m. is like, how in the world are we going to pull this off? This community, our community, has done over $200 million in private giving for public parks over the last 15 years. Does our community have another major park in it? Second, are we willing to do it in a part of our community that has never been served by that level? This area that we're working in has been the site of environmental injustice for years. It has been the site of neighborhoods that have been forgotten about and never had a voice go to bat for them. Are we ready as a community to step up and fix that injustice? Those are the things that keep me up, but they're also the things that make you go, yeah, this is the right thing to do.
I want to ask you about that. We have just a couple more questions. I know you're going to stick around with us. We're going to put you through the ringer in a few.
Sure.
The ringer with a smile. We have food and we have trivia. It's all good. Does this keep you up at night, whether it's in a way that would be distressing or exciting?
It's it's excitement. It's excitement tinged with an incredible sense of responsibility to get it right. That self has to fall away. And pulling the community together to achieve something great. But no, and I can say this now, this landscape excites me more than the Parklands landscape excites me. The stories are more compelling and they're more important to get right. And we're pushing some boundaries here too, that we didn't push out there.
Absolutely. Have to ask you this, we're in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah.
We are in the most challenging time for people financially, for people mentally, for people even physically.
Yeah.
And this has not been a healthy time. This is a scary time. There are so many things that are going on that why should people care about Origin Park?
If we can't make the argument for the value of public parks after what we've gone through now, we really need to get out of this line of work. The global number that we're seeing is a 200% increase in the use of public parks. We lost our churches, our bars, our restaurants, our libraries, our concerts, our music halls, our sports performances. We lost everything. The only thing we had left were these great public green spaces. And you look at the Ohio River Greenway and what it did and how it helped people with their mental health and their physical health in the last year and a half. It just makes you say we have to double down.
During the midst of the actual quarantine, what was your favorite thing to do outside?
My wife and I got into birding at a ridiculous level across Indiana. We just got ate up with following and chasing birds. From our backyard feeder to driving to Gibson, to driving to Goose Pond, to being at the falls. We saw, I think our list for last year was well north of 300 new bird species in the area that were on our bird list. So that was it. And it forced us to slow down and look up. and you've heard me say it when I walk, but I really encourage people. The tendency in the Midwest, in this part of the world, is to take nature for granted. It's just this green wall. Where do you go to see nature? Well, we're going to Yellowstone, or we're going to Rockies, and those are great places. I want to tell people those are awesome. But what we have here is just as special, but it requires a sensitivity of the heart and soul to open up, slow down, and look at it. In our park, and we're going to help you get on our social media page, we'll show you ways to do that. They cost you nothing, but you'll never look at home the same way again here because it's remarkable.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time. And Scott's going to stick around with us, and thankfully so is Alice as well. But we want to thank you for taking the time with us, and also thank our sponsors. That's both Cutter Woodworking and New Washington State Bank.
Welcome back to Extol Live in general. It's time for another Jumping with JD. And now I hear that we are really going to be working it out today.
Yeah, we're going to try to get our heart rate moving. We're going to work out some, maybe if we have any anxiety, frustrations, whatever, we're going to get it going pretty quick. So
I'm scared. Here we go. Another one. He won't tell me what we're doing because he wanted me to be surprised. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, sometimes I think when you hear something, like sometimes I'll look at what our workout's going to be, and then it causes me a little anxiety. So I don't want you to have any of that.
Fair enough. Workouts don't give me anxiety. We'll be all right.
That's fine. I wanted to also point out my shirt. It's the Golden Girls with muscles.
We need a close up on that for sure. It's absolutely fantastic shirt.
It's pretty great. I am right now the same age as Blanche was, Rue McClanahan, when the Golden Girls aired. So I think that's kind of an interesting. This is why I kind of like this shirt.
I don't even believe that, but
it's the truth.
Sure, whatever you say. Fine. All right. Let's get it up. I got my Apple Watch on. We're ready.
Okay, we're gonna do this. This can be done with a partner. This can be done like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bark orders at you. It can be done on your own, and it's about a whatever. So what we're gonna do? You probably want to put your microphone down because.
You think so?
Yeah,
that's not a good sign.
So what I'm gonna do is 4 different movements. Okay, your first movement is this one's fast feet, right? Do you know how to do fast feet?
I think so. You're going to have to tell me which one.
I'll show you.
Okay.
So I'm going to yell fast feet at you, and what you're going to do is you're going to do fast feet, right? Like this.
Oh, okay.
You can, right?
Yeah, okay.
Looks kind of silly, but you're going to do it.
Okay.
All right? And then I'm going to yell something else at you, and the next thing is going to be high knees. I'm going to let you demonstrate that one. High knees. Faster. Yeah, high knees. All right? Okay. When I tell you the next thing, you're going to do a drop squat. And we did drop squats a little bit last week. But you're going to do, come here, Alice. We're going to do a drop squat just as fast as you can. Now, do you remember drop squat? I'm going to show it to you, right? We're going to drop. So it's like this. So back up.
I was
back up.
In and out squat.
Okay, well.
Because I usually do it at the end.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like that?
Yep. And then when I yell it, you're going to do it burpee. I know everybody hates the burpee. I don't know why.
All the way down?
Yep.
Oh no!
We're not messing around. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to start yelling stuff to Addie, and she's just going to do it. Okay?
This is why he didn't tell me what we were doing.
When I do it, and when I yell burpee, give me a burpee. All right?
All right.
You ready? Okay, fast feet.
How long is this for?
Just do it. Quit asking questions.
Okay.
Fast feet. Come on, faster. Yeah, come on. Move it. Okay, drop squat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you go. High knees. Good. Burpee.
Oh, man.
Drop squat.
I don't like this
Good.
game.
Fast feet.
This is like Simon Says.
Burpee. You're doing great. You're doing much better than me. Okay, you can keep doing that. I'll give you a rest.
Okay. Hang on my microphone again?
Yep. Throw some rest in there, and just kind of keep doing rounds of it. And how do you feel? You feel pretty good?
Let's see. Heart rate at 132.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. And you can hear me taking my deep breaths over here.
I feel
But
great.
feeling good. I like it. I didn't get my workout in this morning, so
Perfect.
there's a jump start on my day. You have anything else over here?
No, I think
Anything
we're
for
good.
Alice?
I think Alice it looks fitter than all of us. So
I think she does too. She's good looking.
metabolism, right?
All right, well, I'm going to catch my breath. And while I do that, you guys check out a new colorful experiment in a segment we're calling Hooked on Science.
It's a mind-blowing science experiment you're going to want to try. All you need are a few ingredients from around the house. Those ingredients include 3 clear cups, 2 paper towels, water, and food coloring. Notice how I've set everything up. In this cup right here, I have water and yellow food coloring. Over here, I have water and blue food coloring. Over time, thanks to capillary action, which is the movement of water within the spaces of porous materials, that water walked across the paper towel to the middle cup, mixing together to create green. Plants use capillary action all the time to move water up the stem. When you mix together 2 primary colors, you get 1 secondary color. For example, red and yellow, you get orange. Blue and red, you get purple. For Hooked on Science, I'm Jason Lindsay.
Thanks so much to Jason Lindsay. Caught me doing a little adjustment there. That's the way it goes. Now we're going to toss it to Lucas Hunchman, who was a part of the Extol team until he headed out west. But we sent him on a little exploration to Jeffersonville for Extol Eats.
Hi, I'm Lucas Hunchman, and this is Extol Eats. I've never had that much meat at once. Union Restaurant and Game Yard is located in Jeffersonville, near the Big 4 Bridge. And if you like games, this is the place for you to be. But right now, I'm just here for the food. Wow. Thank you, Chef Taylor. We have the cheeseburger egg rolls. Now, I've had a lot of egg rolls in my day, but none of them has had a twist like this. Let's try it out. Really cheesy, really burgery, and really egg rolly. Okay. Okay, right away, really creamy. And it also contains a lot of that greasy juice that you get from a burger. So not dry at all, it's perfect. And then that crunch from the egg roll, that's something you just don't get from a soft burger. Union, you guys did it right. All right, now let's move on to the burger. Now this is called the Piggy Went to Market, which is appropriate because it's got 3 different types of meats on it. It's a handful here. We got bacon right here, we got some pulled pork right here, thick slabs of pork belly. Also on top of some coleslaw, pickles. Last but not least, there's a pork rind on top. So, it also comes with a side of duck fat fries. Yeah, and then some garlic aioli. So let's try these fries. Garlic aioli. It's pretty good, yeah. Garlic aioli is really awesome. It has a boatload of flavor right there. And then the fries, Parmesan on it. These are really good fries. Yeah, I like those a lot. And then, time for the beast right here, all right? Wow. Okay, I've never had that much meat at once. I like bacon, I love pulled pork, but that thick layer of pork belly right there, a thick layer, that really adds this juicy meat punch right there. Look, we can take a look at it. Look at that. That's incredible. That's good. It's fatty, it's juicy, it's everything you need. Come on.
My name is Bobby Bass, and I'm one of the owners of Union Restaurant and Game Yard. Union Restaurant and Game Yard is primarily a restaurant. That's one of our biggest focuses. We have a really good, well thought out menu. We have around 7,000 square feet of covered space for games and bars, and then we have 2 lots worth of anything from cabanas to to games, to a stage, to an outdoor bar, restroom. Good place to come and relax and entertain as well. Yeah, so we have a variety of games. We have everything from as simple and well-known as cornhole to iceless curling with synthetic ice, which is kind of off the charts here. We have some great ping pong tables. We have a trash can beer pong is extremely popular here. We've giggled at that. We just, you don't know until you put them out there what people are going to respond to. I'm a big fan also of the soccer pool. So for people who aren't aware of that, it's kind of a pool table layout, but it's on the grass with artificial turf, and the pockets are actually big enough for soccer balls. So you play soccer with them, so you have a white soccer ball that will hit, and you get to the black 8 ball just like regular pool. So the key to that for us was mobility. We always wanted to be able to shuffle games in and out or move them. So what you see now, we'll have different games in the spring as well. We'll keep the favorites, but we'll just kind of continue to play with it. And then inside, we have everything from board games to golden teas. So we're pretty varied in what we offer, and we'll just continue to play with that and kind of be creative and see what people like to have.
I've had a fun time here at Union. They've got great food, lots of great games. So come on down if you want to have a good time.
Oh, we miss Lucas, that's for sure, but Union is still there and it is popular, and I know that we all enjoy exploring. That's part of what we do. Scott, what's your go-to place, whether it's to eat or just enjoy in Indiana?
Yeah, so let me be just totally on message and on point. Muscatatuck National Wildlife Refuge up near Seymour. It's our closest national wildlife refuge. And the best thing there is January, December, when the sandhill cranes come in. Oh. You can see thousands of sandhill cranes, and they had 2 whooping cranes, and there are only 32 of those in the East Coast up there last year. So a chance to see an animal that's the most rare animal you can see in the whole East Coast.
Oh my gosh. I fell in love with sandhill cranes because of my mom in Michigan, and it was just, they came out of nowhere because we hadn't seen them before, and it was a very spiritual moment.
Yes.
Like very spiritual.
And if you're looking for winter when it's blah and gray and we're all ready to lose our mind, drive up there and watch them. It's great.
Oh, I love that. JD, favorite place to explore, to eat?
I love Charleston State Park.
Yes.
I think it's a great place. I've run there, explore Rose Island. I think it's really cool. And I'll eat anything. I love new place, Leaven Bread, right here.
That is not true. We're going to take a little exception with that, aren't we, Addie? Because JD will not eat things. You love this. That texture of refried beans.
That's true. This is true.
What else? There's a little more. Shellfish.
Well, yeah. My mom always said not to eat anything that carries its house around on its back because you never know how good a housekeeper they are.
Oh, that's good.
So no shellfish for me.
So JD eats almost anything. Addie, what about you? Favorite place to eat or explore?
I actually went to that place right there by the Walking Bridge Parlor, the pizza place the other day. My mom and I went, and it was really good. We were both like, wow, they had that garlic around the crust of the pizza, and it was delicious. So that's going to be my favorite as of right now until I find a new favorite.
Absolutely. That's a great one. And I will just throw this out there. Anywhere there are dogs, that's where my favorite places are. Alice, I love you. I know
she loves the New Albany Dog Park. That's what she was going to say. She was going to bring that up.
Okay. Well, Alice, thank you very much. Addie, we're going to throw it to an Explore with Addie. Where did you go this week?
So this week I went to Maker 13. It was a really cool place. It's basically a warehouse where they've got all kinds of different equipment for, any kind of project that you'd make. A lot of small business owners or, people in the area go there to help jumpstart their business, get, things done. So it was a really cool place, and I definitely think you should check it out.
Here we go.
What's going on, guys? Addie Miners here with Explore with Addie, and today I am at Maker 13 where I'm trying to make a bracelet of some kind. Yeah, exactly. Let's check out what's going on around here.
Well, this is Maker 13. We're a community workshop. We're a nonprofit. We started about 5 years ago. November will be our 5th anniversary. We're just super excited to be part of this Jeffersonville community. We're so close to Louisville, so we have a lot of Louisville people that come over in New Albany, but it's just a collaboration of makers, people that come in here, and whether they're an artist or they just have a craft that they want to expand on, but a lot of those people have since turned in that craft or hobby into a small business. And so we have a lot of entrepreneurs that work out of here, The whole point of the shop is to get rid of that startup cost, that capital that they need. All they have to do is pay for a training class and then a membership and rent time on our equipment, and then they can just use a $20,000 piece of equipment just for their small monthly fee and get their business up and running. So we offer services. We have 3D printing. Lasers are probably our biggest thing, but we also have textiles, which includes a CNC embroidery machine. So we have sewing, vinyl area, and then a full wood shop, metal shop. Thanks to a grant we just got from Impact 100 of Southern Indiana, we're adding a plasma cutter to our metal shop. So it's not quite here yet, but we're super excited to offer that and do metal sign work.
We joined 3 years ago. It was completely as a hobby. My husband wanted to make something for our 5th wedding anniversary. We didn't realize that that was going to kind of springboard into building a business out of Maker 13. Our business is Southern Grit. We make custom wood designs, mainly using the lasers. But we'll always be members. Maker is it's a community. We've built lifelong friendships here and partnerships with other small business owners. It's a collaborative space. It truly is a community, whether you just want to make something for yourself or for your home, or if you are like us and kind of have like this spin-off and it turns into something a little bit more.
So thanks to Impact 100 of Southern Indiana, we were their 2019 grant winners. We were able to do a new program, and it's called Make Your Move. It's a 6-month business guided program, and because of that grant that we got, we've been able to give scholarships to 10 women in the area to come in and start a business.
So Make Your Move is it's a program that is for women entrepreneurs, like women makers. So there are classes. It covers a year. And there are different classes, everything from like discovering your idea to figuring out how to create your business, some of the nitty gritties of how to run a business. It also allows women to have that safe collaborative space to kind of grow together and ask the questions and to build their businesses.
It goes over everything from how to write a business plan, competitive market analysis of your product, all the way to marketing and branding, and then the legal setup of like, how do you start up a business? Like, how do you file for your tax ID? What do you need to do to set up your bank account? And goes over all of that legal things that I think a lot of people don't think of when they're like, hey, I'm going to start a business.
So I have a jewelry business, and I also incorporate a lot of leather. So I'll use like the laser cutter and 3D print things, and then from there I can kind of prototype things, and that ties in perfectly to the Make Your Move program, because I had a business idea and I was doing well and it's great, but I need more help. Like, I'm a small business owner, entrepreneur, and I have no clue kind of what some of the next steps are.
You do not have to be a member to take classes. Anybody can come in and take a class, and then from there we offer 3 free hours to use the shop. For more information, visit maker13.com, or you can give us a call at 812-914-7007.
Okay, so JD knows Maker 13 like the back of your hand. It's an awesome place.
It is awesome. It's inspiring going in there, watching people work, and it's amazing. So,
and their Make Your Move program with the Women Impact 100's grant, I mean, absolutely phenomenal. Can't wait to see what Maker 13 does next. And if you don't know what they do there, I encourage you to go. But speaking of don't know, Alice does not know what is in the boxes here. This week, I brought you guys, of course, I always pretend that I'm cooking, so I didn't pull it out of the oven this time, but Levin Bakery, which is just right down the road from us. And there are varieties. I don't know if Colin can see, but I got bacon. I got a healthy-ish omelet. I think there's a breakfast sandwich. Of course, they make everything by hand. And check out the bagels that look absolutely amazing. So you all can try anything that you want. Scott, that's up to you whether or not Miss Alice is allowed to have human food. But as you guys know, I love trivia. And since Scott is here, of course, I mean, this is probably going to come as no surprise. The theme of trivia today, recreation. Are you ready for this?
I'm just glad I have JD on my team.
I feel so exposed, but I'm just going to.
I didn't mean that as a slight at you.
No,
I
I'm
meant
just
that
going to
as
go with
JD
that.
always is
yeah.
good at trivia. I should have corrected.
I'm going to be burned.
Okay, so here's the rules. I stand right here. Scott, you just come up a little bit. We're being COVID safe with our angles here. And then you put one hand behind
we're
your
doing
back,
celebrity
and then you've got to
or family feud. We're doing family feud
hit the
rules.
buzzer. Okay. So
And you're
make
Steve
sure-
Harvey.
We don't leave that one alone. I like Mr. It depends on who you ask. It depends on Mr. Harvey. I appreciate you, but it depends on who you ask. They say he's not always very nice.
Oh, really?
So
I just know him in the context of the feud. So,
all right, here we go. First question. Name the largest fish found in the United States inland waters.
It's got to be a sturgeon.
Yes. Now here's a question. What kind of sturgeon?
Ooh.
Alice, can you help your dad with this one?
I'm going to expose some ignorance, which I do daily. It should be the Columbia Basin sturgeon.
Ooh, it is the white sturgeon.
Oh, but that's a subspecies. I know it. Don't worry about it, Alice.
I was going to say that.
She knew.
You knew. Okay,
she outed me.
JD's
the
here we
real
go.
champ.
I was going to say sturgeon.
All right, Scott, here we go. What are adult male and female rabbits called? I think she just said it. Those were words, JD.
Ma and Pa Rabbit.
I was thinking that'd be good. Or what's Bugs and what's her
Bugs
name?
and Mrs. Bugs.
Yeah.
Isn't it? No, it's not Daphne. I don't know why I said that.
Do you have a steal?
I don't, because I'm just reflecting back to the best movie of all, which was Peter Rabbit with.
I know, I love that.
I don't understand if eating the dressing all at once is healthier than putting it online.
They're a buck and a doe. I
did not know
no
that.
idea. Okay, next, Addie, come up.
I'm not going to get
Make us
any of
proud.
this.
You got it, Addie.
All right.
Sorry.
Name the only poisonous lizard in the United States. I've actually had nightmares about this one.
And now the dork meter will go off. There's a Gila monster.
I was going to say the one that has the little things that flare out, when it hisses at you. That's
Different.
all I know.
And those of us who mispronounce it, Gila monster, but you say it Gila.
Yes.
Yes, I have literally had
No
nightmares
problem.
about those. All right, JD, you're
Okay.
up.
You win some, you lose some.
We're going to do this.
Now, JD is a great explorer in terms of, he has gone all over the United States. So I'll be interested to see which one of you gets this. Name, and it's kind of a little bit of a trick here, name the Great Lakes of North America.
Well, that one I could have got.
Addie, you may be able to steal.
Take it.
The Superior Lake, the Erie Lake, the Great Lake. How many are there?
Call on me, I know.
Not yet.
Michigan Lake,
Okay,
Yes.
you've got three.
and come on, Fred. The Salt Lake City, the Lake of Salt.
That is
Huron.
not a thing, but it's a good try. Oh, what did you just call it?
Huron
There you go.
Yes.
popped into my head.
You've got 4.
randomly.
You got one left.
Is there one? Is there one more?
One left. Think
Do you know
Canada.
this?
Yeah.
Think Canada.
Yep.
Oh gosh, the Canadian Lake.
Nope. But you're so
Yeah.
close.
High-end Lake. The
You were so close.
We're so on.
Ontario.
There you go.
Thank you.
What is the acronym of the 5 Great Lakes?
No idea.
That anybody who's from Michigan would probably know.
I do know that you're called a Michigander.
Holmes, Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior. Holmes.
And then if you live in Michigan, what do? You point where you live on the.
Unless you are left and right deficient,
Okay.
then you're me. And it's like, oh, wait, hang on. It's like
I live
this.
here.
And just for the record, I just have to correct you on this. It's not the Lake of Ontario. It's Lake Ontario,
Oh, okay.
Lake Michigan. But you did awesome. Addie, did you know those?
Yes, I actually did.
Okay. Awesome
Fred
job.
did not feed me any cues. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh.
All came from my brain.
I know. We have Fred and Colin behind the camera. We have Jason. He's at our mixer board over there. There's no cheating that goes on here.
No.
All right, here we go. Next one.
Here we go.
I don't think this was a surprise when I did some of the research on this. Which state's populace has the highest rate of physical activity?
actually know that, but you go.
Colorado.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, that's hands down.
They've got a lot to
Okay,
explore.
JD, come on, we got to get through all these, almost done, and then we can eat. What is the most popular sport activity for Americans 7 years of age and up to participate in more than once a year?
Did it hit it?
Do you want me to cheat?
It's walking.
It is walking.
Listen,
Yes.
you got to make it buzz.
I did. Yeah, it doesn't count.
Okay, switch up. And I love this one because I think the last year, and especially in the conversation we had, Scott, we're going to tackle this for a second. What is the number one reason Americans do not take part in recreational activities?
Do you know?
And 3.
I'd love to hear your take. I'm actually more interested to hear.
1. Take a stab at it.
Are they just uninterested? They're kind of lazy, maybe?
Not quite, but
How about lack of access?
ooh, that's a good one. The number one reason is they don't have the time, but I'm going to go one step further and say we don't make the time.
Mhm.
And having access allows us to take the time when you integrate it into your everyday life. Okay, next one. Here we go.
Okay.
On average, and I love this one because I was about to cheat and give you an answer. On average, who's most responsible for teaching us our favorite recreational activity?
Who's most responsible?
And 3.
Your PE teacher.
I was going to say that.
No, but if your PE teacher was JD Dotson, that would be a correct
You'd be working.
answer.
Can we go with parents?
Yes. Your parents, you learn that love. Learn that love from, the adults in your life from a young age. And though I was thinking about this, isn't this true, Scott? If you didn't have that, it's never too late.
Never too late.
So you can share that love. Okay, 2 more. In the TV show Parks and Recreation, who stars as the perky mid-level bureaucrat in a Parks and Rec department?
I know the actress, but I don't know what her
What's
name is
her
in the
name?
show.
What's-
Isn't it Amy Poehler?
Yes.
Amy Poehler?
Okay,
Amy Poehler
and
fan.
anybody can get this one. What's the name of the fictional Indiana town where the TV show Parks and Recreation takes place?
Is it Pawnee?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Have I ever seen that show? No, I just
How do
know ridiculously stupid trivia.
That show hits so close to home, I can't even watch it. It just,
Yeah.
it's too, you just have to turn off it. Nope.
Yeah.
Because you start identifying who you are in these scenes. So.
No, Leslie knows.
Leslie.
Oh, yeah, Leslie, no, I knew that.
We're going so far in. Want to thank our sponsors of Extol Live. That includes New Washington State Bank and Cutter Woodworking as well.
Here at Cutter Woodworking, I'm a CNC programmer and operator. So my previous job, I had a pretty long drive, about an hour and a half drive from home, and I just wasn't happy there, so I decided I would come to Cutter's. It was closer to home. I heard some good things about it, so I decided to come in, put an application in, and now I am super happy that I did, and I'm thankful that I did. I enjoy my time here. It's a great place to work. Here we have great benefits. It's family-owned business. They're always out and about. There's tons of job opportunities out there. There's plenty of opportunities to be able to move up. If you prefer a different job, or maybe you like something better, there's always some openings here and there that could better yourself, better your future here, and also better the company. Anybody out there that's searching or thinking about putting in a job application, or even just coming in and checking out the place, I highly recommend it. I don't think you would ever be disappointed. I think you would actually be pretty happy with the decision, a year down the road or 5 years down the road. I don't think you would ever look back. I know I sure haven't.
Thanks again to Cutter Woodworking and New Washington State Bank for sponsoring Extol Live. Thanks to Scott Martin for taking the time. And of course, he brought his dog Alice, which we've loved. Addie, JD, can't wait to see what kind of a workout you do next week.
I can wait.
Once again, we're going to give you a week. Once again, the new issue of Extol will be on stands throughout Southern Indiana next week. Very excited to be back in this way. And then on next week's Extol Live, We're going to talk about how Extol doesn't just hit the live stream, but is hitting actual TV. We've got some great guests coming with us. Again, Scott, thank you so much. But now, as we always do, we're going to toss it to Furry Friday. And this week, we sent Addie to explore in New Albany. Check it out and have a great weekend.
Here at the New Albany Floyd County Animal Shelter, you can come in and adopt an animal, but it's best to go ahead and fill out an application online. It makes the process so much more speedier, and then you can come in and visit with the animal. We have quality time that we're able to allocate and spend time with you and make the match perfect. And then you can come in, enjoy your time with the pet. The staff has an opportunity to tell you what they feel about the pet, how they experience the pet, and it's a wonderful experience all the way around. It really gives a personal service to adopting an animal. And if you're making a lifelong commitment like this, you need that personal service. You need to get to know the animal, and that's what we're here at the New Albany Floyd County Animal Shelter trying to do.
Yeah, cut me off some of that.